Export Mongolia 2020 International Virtual Forum and Expo. All those who are interested in working with and investing into Mongolia, International Virtual Forum and Expo.
My very warm welcome to all of you. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Natsuk Dorchedashtembrel. I work for the Investment Policy for Management Department of the National Development Agency. Now, I'm working for the 12 years for the investment field, so I'm a lawyer, and I hold a master's degree in the management science. So due to COVID pandemic, the entire globe and the entire community is facing enormous challenges. So it is vital for us how to survive and how to rescue for the health, education, financial sector of the country and the pandemic situation. Now, indeed, with this view, we are changing our methods, our ways, and our tactics and strategies of approaching any issues. And today's virtual forum is conducted online and in the virtual form. So, and this is quite a very unique method and approach that we have selected. So today we are going to focus on non-mining industries, including agriculture, crop production, livestock production, and the ways how to attract foreign investment to this into this sphere of industry. So our session comprises of two parts. The first session is to provide you with information, the buyer information, and then the second part will comprise of the B2B individual meetings, B2B meetings focusing on certain investment projects. With that, I would like to invite Mr. Pandarshan Bayar-Sahan, the head of the National Development Agency, with his presentation. So just to introduce Mr. Bayar-Sahan briefly. Mr. Bayar-Sahan had a long history of his career in developing regional development policy, investment policies, and management policies. So at the same time, he's the key person in the foreign policy with respect of Mongolia, Japan, of bilateral investment cooperation, and he has an experience of working for the JP Morgan Bank, and he holds the public management doctoral degree. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Mongolia is organizing Expo Mongolia 2020 International Virtual Forum and Exhibition, and I would like to extend my warm gratitude to all of you for accepting our invitation. At the same time, I'm extending my warm welcome to all of you. The Mongolia with picturesque landscape and with the so we are very thankful for you joining us with the view of pandemic, although you are not able to join us physically. So with the view, one of the ways to overcome the challenges, the pandemic challenges, is to develop trade and investment throughout the world. In recent 3 decades, Mongolia had witnessed the activities of more than 20,000 companies from 130 countries with solid and faithful of investment. 3.13 billion of US dollars investment were made in recent years, which shows the increase of 0.7% in compared with the previous decade. So the inner trade and the service, the investment was 17%, 3% in banking and financial sector, 3.3% in transportation. In the construction sector, it was 1.4%, and 7.3% was made investment was made to other sectors. So all the statistics show, although we face enormous challenges in terms of pandemic, we see and witness enormous interest from the side of investment to Mongolian economy, and yet it shows to us that to what extent it is very important to attract foreign investment to Mongolia. Yet the share of the investment to the mining sector is relatively large in compared with other sectors. Therefore, we need to attach a high priority and focus to non-mining industries, especially agriculture and light industry. So this is our priority for the years to come. Now, so we have a huge endowment and rich perspectives in terms of developing livestock industry. So also, it is important for us to penetrate into large markets to create an processing industries in overseas markets. So in this regard, we have developed a number of projects to present to the foreign investors. So the projects in the area of food production, livestock byproduct processing, health, cosmetics, leather and hide, light industry, heavy industry, altogether 915 million US dollar investment projects. 30 projects are going to be presented to all of you through this virtual platform. Now, apart from mining industry, we are going to present the competitive industries, including agriculture, and this is the economy advantage at this point. So therefore, we are very much pleased to see you and joining us through this virtual forum. And I would like to call upon your very active participation in the sessions on the 15th and on the 16th in order to get a detailed information on the projects that we are going to present. So I would like to call upon your very active engagement for joining all these projects so that we will produce our joint project and we will enjoy a win-win situation in the end. So, and in the end, I would like to extend our great gratitude to all the interested parties, to the investors, to our business partners, and I would like to wish every success in your future endeavors. May all our desires flourish.
Export Mongolia 2020 International Virtual Forum and Expo. All those who are interested in working with and investing into Mongolia. International Virtual Forum and Expo.
Well, I would like to thank Mr. Bayos-Sachen for his remarks. So the major topic for today is agriculture and light industry investment potentials. So we would like to invite the head of the light industry of the Ministry of Agriculture and Light Industry, Mr. Dondok Dorch, with his presentation. So Mr. Dondok Dorch has a career of more than 20 years of working for the light industry, and he holds a master's degree in the industrial manufacturing. Very warm welcome and good morning, all. So today in the Ministry of Agriculture and Light Industry of Mongolia, will introduce the investment opportunity of and potential investment potential in the agricultural and light industry sector of Mongolia. As you can see on the slide, so the first slide shows the current state of the industry. So it talks about the industry potential and all the projects that we have started to implement in this area. Now, the Minister of Agriculture and Light Industry, so this sector is aims to develop national production based on research and development value chains and in order to provide for sustainable development of the industry. Now, so that includes agriculture, food industry, light industry, and SMEs. Now, so within the scope of the objective, so the industry had developed long-term and short-term and medium-term policy papers. Now, as of current, the industry accounts for 30.8% of the GDP of the country, 8.2% of the total export revenue, and accounts for 55.8% of the workforce share. Now, this is about the statistics and the share of the industry. Now, in terms of agriculture production, the economic indicators you can see from the slide, so that the statistics would show the year-to-year growth, the constant growth in terms of the head of livestock and in terms of the increase in the productivity statistics of the animal. Now, in terms of the number of head of livestock and the number of the herder households, so this statistics on the crop production industry, statistics of the crop production, and you can see from the slide that so the crop production sector has the full potential to contribute to the export of the country. Now, these are the major livestock production that we produce, including meat production, cashmere production, etc. So which showed a considerable increase in recent years. So now the major products, livestock products. Now, so we have a goal to improve the production of the food products in the domestic market, including production of egg, production of vegetables, milk, and fruits and berries. So in order to reduce dependence on import of these products. So you can see the major food products that the subject of the increase of the share of export of these projects in the total export of the country. So that includes meat, potato, flour, wheat, and food oil products. Now, in the light industry sector, in the mid-run, we focus on the wool and cashmere deep processing. So, and to reach up to 80% of deep production of these products. Now, so also the leather industry. So we focus on developing that kind of leather processing industry, and so we're aiming to increase the installed capacity of these entities. Now, so this is the export volume of the light industry and agricultural products. Indeed, in order to increase the production, we need the investment into this sector. So that slide shows about the stance of technological innovation and the need for an investment. Now, so next is irrigated agriculture. So we have a demand for 132 billion turbrics. Now, greenhouse complexes, 125 billion turbrics also is the investment need for this industry. Now, in the intensive dairy livestock production, in order to improve the production of milk and dairy products, so we are aiming to increase the number of head of the dairy of cattle. So we need 128 billion turbrics in order to improve production of dairy products. Now, in this regards, so we have developed a cluster system of improving dairy product production development. Now, so again, coming back to Darkhan leather industrial complex, in order to increase the production of the leather and hide products in the country. Now, so we have already spent 36 billion turbrics, and so in order to install the basic infrastructure for this complex, yet we have a demand and need for another of investment funds in order to reach a capacity of producing 10,000 tons of wool and 3,000 tons of cashmere. Now, the next project is Hoft Industrial Park. So the infrastructure investment has been already made, and the construction work is already ongoing. Now, Hoft, this is the western part of the country. So with this complex in place, we'll have a new capacity of producing 300,000 tons of wool and 3,000 tons of cashmere per annum. Now, Darkhan Food Factory in the industrial park. So the total project budget is $45.1 million US. So we're aiming to increase this capacity. In order to provide for additional capacity, we would need an investment of $165 million US. With that additional investment, we'll be able to increase the cashmere production by twofold. Now, wood processing complex. So the total investment is $25.2 million US. So in order to come up with this project, and the feasibility study of this project has been already developed for Hupskulaimak. So with this additional investment in place, so we'll be able to enjoy partnership with foreign companies and to increase the export of wood and wooden products by 2.5. So all this project would provide for additional of the export growth by 2.5%. Thank you for your attention.
Export Mongolia 2020 International Virtual Forum and Expo. All those who are interested in working with and investing into Mongolia, International Virtual Forum and Expo.
Thank you, Mr. Dondadorch, for interesting presentation. Now, Mongolia has an endowment of the agricultural raw materials and byproducts, and so this is the main the reason why many countries in the world attracted to Mongolian agricultural sector. So that in terms of the export of agricultural raw materials, so we have considerable increase in the agricultural and export percentage. So from 2020 to 2024, so the government of Mongolia will attach a high priority to improving a value added in the agricultural and light industry of sectors. Now, according to the agenda, so the next topic that we're going to speak on is the investment environment, the investment legal environment, the legal framework. Now, I'm going to make a presentation on that subject matter. Allow me to introduce the Mongolian investment environment. So you can see from this slide for the Mongolian economy's current situation based on the statistics produced by the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank. So you can see the macroeconomic indicators, balance of payment, net international reserves, and the inflation rate. Now you can see that the net international reserve have been constantly increasing in recent 4 years. As of August, compare August of 2020 with the previous year. So the net international reserves had shown a sizable increase. So we have a sufficient reserves. Now, and the rate of Mongolian Turkish exchange rate remains relatively stable. Now, the next column shows, according to the World Bank and to the Asian Development Bank, that the economic growth of Mongolia is forecasted to be at -2% next year. Now, also the Minister of Finance of Mongolia made a macroeconomic forecast up until 2023. Now, the economic growth is predicted to be 7.2 and 6.5% in 2021 and 2023. So you can also see the inflation rate forecast from this chart. Now, in recent 10 years, so this is a dynamic of the foreign investment in recent 10 years. Now, you can see that the 4.9%, 4.9 million US dollars of foreign investment has been made to Mongolia back in 2011. So the 2011 and 2012 was the highest economic growth years for Mongolia in the entire history of the country. Now, if we compare 2019 with 2016, we have an increase of the foreign direct FDI investment in Mongolia growth by 14.8%. So it shows that pattern shows that yes, Mongolia is still among the list of the potential countries in terms of attracting FDI. Now, foreign trade balance, BOP, balance of payment. Now, foreign trade balance, so you can see that in 2018 we had the highest growth. In 2019, so that reached 13.7 billion of US dollars. Now we have a positive balance in terms of foreign trade balance. Now, so if we break down the foreign trade for the balance by export and import, you can see that both export and import had increased in recent years. Now, in terms of the legal environment for investment, I would like to divide it by 5 phases in terms of the circle. So the first circle is I would like to introduce the Vision 2050 long-term development policy of Mongolia. Now, Mongolia had analyzed its the past development policy, and the Parliament of Mongolia had approved the Vision 2020 long-term development policy of Mongolia, which specifies that Mongolia will be a country with sustainable economic growth and which protects foreign investment in the interest of foreign investors. Now, so in the Government of Mongolia Action Plan for 2020 and 2024, so it is stated that it is vital for Mongolia to revive the interest and creditworthiness and the trust from the foreign investors. So with this view, so during the first part of 2021, we're planning to introduce amendments to the investment law of Mongolia. So, which will focus on the investment for guarantee and to bringing the investment environment into a new positive and competitive stage, and which also include the simplification of the investment procedures in the country. Now, the next slide talks about international investment framework of Mongolia. Now, Mongolia had concluded the foreign investment agreement treaties with 43 countries of the world. Now, so Mongolia also joined the Seoul and Washington conventions, and also had concluded tax treaties with 26 jurisdictions. Now, also Mongolia is aiming to sign the treatments and agreements with remaining countries who are willing to make an investment to Mongolia. So with this, now with this view of these conventions and international treaties, so Mongolia is also providing the favorable conditions to foreign investment in terms of protecting their investment rights and providing a guarantee. Now, next slide is about preferential trade regimes. So the trade is the flip side of the investment. Trade and investment are the two sides of one coin. Now, so from this map, you can see that the second large economy of the world, China, and the eighth large economy, Russia. So our two giant neighbors. So in this respect, Mongolia has quite a sizable advantage in terms of being sandwiched between these two countries. So we have very good trade ties with Japan, also within the framework of Asia and Pacific free trade agreement. We are planning to export a number of products, including Mongolian, so with a view of GSP plus preferences for around 23% of the total European Union countries. Now, so investment life cycle in order to promote and in order to attract foreign investment. So today we are convening of the Export Mongolia 2020. So we have prepared more than 30 projects to be presented to foreign investors. So a total of 6.5 billion of US dollar investment. Now, so in the five-year development plan of Mongolia, so we've also indicated in total 88 projects worth of 6.5 billion US dollars. Now, so all these projects are waiting and looking for investment. So there are those projects which have been listed as a priority projects and which are considered as the competitive projects for the economy. Now, so apart from this official statistics about investments, all the statistical numbers and all the detailed information about investment, climate, and environment in Mongolia could be provided by Mongolian diplomatic missions abroad. And we would encourage you to approach the nearest diplomatic mission of Mongolia, the nearest to you, in order to get the detailed information. So you can also iGuide and other platforms to obtain detailed information on this projects. And IPC.gov website is also available for all of you in order to submit your complaints or to get the responses on your complaints and to get detailed information about all the projects. Now, in terms of bringing investment into Mongolia, Mongolian government is operating one-stop service center, so which provides in total 62 type of services, including so business information, consulting, corporate registration, visa investor card, and the registration with tax authorities and the social insurance authorities. Now the taxation services, report statistics of grievances, big business data, innovation fund, and other services. All this information are available through the one-stop service. Now, so this the one-stop service center services will be delivered in a digital form starting 2021. So this project is implemented jointly with the World Bank, and it will be called as the trade digital platform of Mongolia. So as of current, so you can obtain more than 180 type of digital services through this through the database. Now, starting from the establishing and forming your company and the legal entity in Mongolia, you can do it online now. Now, also in terms of the support of and promotion of investment. Mongolia does not distinguish in between domestic and international investors. So we provide the same level and same quality of services to all the investors, and we have the same the taxation climate, and also tax incentives climate for both domestic and international investors. Now, so also the investors are able to go for making your taxation environment sustainable in order to reduce your risk. So that is about 5 to 18 of months of tax rate stabilization. So although the legislation changes, once you have the tax stabilization agreement, you'll be able to enjoy a privileged tax system. Now, so for non-tax incentives, you can also have the right to use to use a land for up to 100 years, and also to enjoy certain provisions in terms of the free trade zones and for privileged customs duty treatments. Now, in terms of the investment protection framework, so the investment climate in Mongolia is in line with international treaties that Mongolia is a party to, and in line with the domestic investment legislation. So within the framework of the reform in the years to come, we will make all the services provided by the Council digital, and we have introduced the service system with it has been done joint with IFC. So that's called Systemic Investor Response Mechanism system. It's called SIRM. Now, if you use the systemic platform, so all the public institutions, including Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the National Development Agency, all these agencies will be able to access that informational platform at the same time and to provide you with the appropriate responses and provide you with the advice and counseling. Now, so the council comprises of the relevant ministers, the state secretaries, the heads of agencies, and at the same time, comprise of the representatives of the private sector. Now, so about the procurement, the investment. Now, so investment is not only in terms of monetary respect. It's about it's about the social and another for the social contribution or technological contribution of the investment country into the recipient country, including franchising agreements, know-how, technological innovation contribution, and it creates the environment for the new and the high technologies to come in. Now, for example, the USA, the largest investor, so it's at the same time the highest recipient of foreign investment. So apart from receiving foreign investment, it is important to utilize this investment to at highest efficient way in a domestic market. So therefore, the projects now in this respect, so the government of Mongolia is focusing on engaging SMEs to play a crucial role in supplying all the necessary services and products to the foreign investors and to the foreign invested projects. Now, so it is about supporting and making the SMEs institutionally capable to provide all this competitive service. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm glad to answer your questions.
Export Mongolia 2020 International Virtual Forum and Expo. All those who are interested in working with and investing into Mongolia, International Virtual Forum and Expo.
Now, so if you go to the part of the project part of the Expo Mongolia, the digital website, you can obtain the information about the agenda, about the projects, and about the schedule of B2B meetings, and you'll be able to fix a time to see to have an in-person meeting with all the relevant companies. Now I would like to invite all the questions and the comments from all of you with respect of Mr. Dondagdorch and my presentation. So you can use a digital chatting of you can send your questions and comments through online through chat. Now, our next presentation on on the cattle farm service. So the executive director, Mr. Jeremy Tenson from Xanadu International Company. So you are well aware how delicious a stack of beef steak by Xanadu Company.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Thiessen. I came to Mongolia in 1993 with a aid organization to work in the agriculture sector. And then in 2009, started the company Xanadu Razorback. Started in initially doing custom farm work, and then moved into feeding and processing animals for the meat sector. One of the main goals for XR was and still is to help change the quality of meat, and also work at helping and improving the grassland pastures, which are very much overgrazed, and degradation and desertification is happening very rapidly. And XR believes that with their model of semi-intensive feeding programs for 90 to 100 days, bringing animals that are not producing young off the pastures and into these semi-intensive feeding programs with all natural, healthy feed can, number one, improve the pasture lands by bringing roughly 52% of the animal population off of the pasture and into these semi-intensive feeding programs. Number two, it is bringing a closer management program. Animals can be observed closely, monitored for health and different needs that the animals might have. The goal is to have a very content, non-stressed animal that and in that situation, an animal will gain weight very well, but also is very conscious. XR is very conscious of treating the animals correctly. So XR is trying to be a leader and a model for other companies. Our goal is to bring top quality, very flavorful, very specific Mongolian brand to not only Mongolia, but eventually to the export market. And we believe in XR that we have the expertise and the knowledge to be a real leader and driving force to bring good and positive change to some of the sectors, not disregarding traditional herding, which is a very key part of having a good Mongolian brand, but making some adjustments to the 21st century that needs and bring the type of meat that consumers are asking for. We also work very closely with local herders and local grain growers, and are trying to help and improve with the herders, improve some of the livestock by bringing in some better genetic bulls and distributing them to the different herders, and also working with them in not only thinking about numbers, but quality and the quality of the animal from day one. Also working with local grain growers in providing an added income by buying their feed grains. If we can be very proactive in implementing and working on these goals, I believe that the animal sector, the meat sector in Mongolia has a very bright and promising future. XR sees good potential for growth, also as to be able to extend itself in assisting others who are pursuing these same goals. And working together, we can bring a very positive, good change to the pasture lands and to the quality, and bring a very good Mongolian brand to the rest of the world. XR is committed to excellence and contextualize within the culture of Mongolia to be culturally sensitive and produce a product that will bring a good Mongolian brand name and bring success to the sector for Mongolia. We also see have a vision to grow our company to potentially 5 or 6 different locations in the country, strategically placed, and also to bring our expertise and quality and to other places in the country as well.
Well, Jeremy Tenson, thank you very much for such an informative presentation on your own experience. So about the more than 30 projects, investment project, especially with respect of 9 major projects, I would like to invite Mr. Tugultur, the officer of the National Development Agency. The Tugultur is specialized in international trade management, investment management, and he is the instrumental person in promoting free trade agreements. And I would like to invite Mr. Tugultur. Well, my very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, today we have gathered here for this forum, and I'm pleased to introduce my projects. The projects that in leather, hide, and food, dairy products, honeybee, livestock, industrial parks, health, cosmetics, and other projects. So which is worth of $921.7 million of 31 projects. So the projects are going to be advertised through the digital platform. Now, so the Mongolia possess an enormous wealth in terms of processing agricultural raw material and byproducts. With respect, it has a potential of the export of these products overseas. Now, so there are 9 projects which are of utmost interest for the investors. The first project is the Gobi Kashmir production capacity increase project. Now, Gobi of JC this project aims to increase per capita income by producing value-added products for economic growth, reduce income inequality, reduce poverty, and provide lifelong education to workers through vocational training, make a valuable contribution to the creation. Now, so the company aims to increase its installed capacity by 136% and to provide for sustainability of job places. So it has the very large economic value and significance for Mongolia. So they have initiated the modernization of their factory back in 2018. So they have developed the feasibility study of the project, the construction engineering construction phase has been already implemented. The next project is the project by Shinet Company. So that's the project on cotton textile development. The company looks for foreign partner to establish joint venture for making textile weaving factory. The partner who has extended knowledge in textile development and possesses weaving technology. So this company produces the design, the products with a very specific design, which shows the Mongolian tradition and Mongolian cultural uniqueness. Now the company is looking for the partner investment, for an investor to work on this project. The third project is a branding project by Bulgar and Mongol Chevron of the partnership companies, and this is a leather shoes manufacturing with a project which produces the 300 to 450 pairs of the children's shoes for the men, women, and children's shoes. So they're looking for the partner investor to expand the capacity and the capacity of the factory. So they're looking to increase the capacity and to increase the share of the export in the total export of the country. Now, so they're looking for the increase of the production capacity by 5 to 10%. Next project is a freeze-dried organic Mongolian food and products. So that is about freezing dried food and product, and it is a totally new subject in Mongolian agriculture and food production sector. So the project aims to create new factory and complete production line for freezing and drying powder for organic producers such as vegetables, berries, meat, and dairy products specialized on yak milk. Now they are looking for a long term of the partners to work towards the extending their capacities. The next project is expansion of the factory for the production of animal feed additives. So it is about the product which is it's the feed additive for animals, which prepared by recycling waste from treatment and processing of the natural mineral raw materials, shielded and mixed with other natural raw materials in certain proportion. It is able to completely replace the same imported preparations for livestock. Now, so they are looking for the investor partner. Next project is project to expand and develop the cluster intensified farm of dairy breed. That is the project by Sky People LLC. The company imported dairy calves of Mongolian Montbellier breed from France for the first time in Mongolia. The main goal of the project is to develop and expand the intensified dairy and milk farm and supply high-quality, healthy milk and apple of Caucasian sort to domestic consumers and market. Now they brought the new breed from France. They brought 30 heads of the new breed cattle. Now, so they would sell the products to Abu Dhabi project. Next project is by Boring Med LLC, and that is a project on Boring Med Perinatology Center. So the Boring Med Perinatology Center offers all types of gynecological treatment and is a comprehensive center for antenatal and postnatal care, antenatal and neonatal care, early and late pregnancy tests, fetal malformation, antenatal care and postpartum care, and will provide high-quality perinatology services. Now the total budget of the project is $1.4 million, and the company shares of 6 years of repayment with 10% per annum, and they are looking for IRR of 19%. The next project is by Lamor LLC to purchase necessary equipment for the production of liquid soap with calcium. So the project is to produce pure natural skincare products that are unique, innovative, and not harmful to health by using bone marrow oil, which is highly based in nature. Using modern technology, they can deliver this unique natural product to their customers. So they are they're looking to purchase the raw honey bee in order to produce the high quality soap and skin products. Now they are in need to purchase equipment and machinery for their products and to go for refurbishing of workshops and to procure the raw materials for production. The last project is by National Zoo for the LLC. The project is on stock offering project. So nowadays, as milk and dairy products become a major part of food consumption, dairy production per capita has become one of the key indicators of national development. The Zoo company, one of the first production of Mongolia, have been producing and developing over 70 different types of ecological products, not only to consumers in the city, but also to countryside for the past 62 years. They strive to diversify and enrich their product range to comply with the diligent ages of consumers and their lifestyles. So the total investment of the project is $6.7 million, and they are looking for public offering documents submitted, and the public offering documents submitted and approved by Mongolian Stock Exchange and Financial Regulatory Commission of Mongolia. The National Development Agency of Mongolia is now aiming to create more job places, to create more value added, and to increase investment, working together with all the partners and investors. So we wish every success to all of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been able to get acquainted with all the projects, and thank you very much to Victor. Now, I have a pleasure to invite the senior officer and the project manager, Ms. Dukrin Jujitma from IFC. Dukrin Jujitma has 21 years of career in working in the field of private sector engagement in the economic projects, and now she's working as a project manager. Now, she provided the economic analysis, the road mapping, and they provided advices on the customs procedures. Now, she holds she attended international business management courses by IFC, and in 2017, she went to Barcelona University Law School to get trained on the agreements and resolution of dispute compliances by the investment community. So we invite you, Ms. Jujitma. Good afternoon, all the participants of Mongolia Expo Forum. So I would like to bring our sincere thankfulness on behalf of the World Bank Group institutions. Now, the World Bank Group has been continuously supporting the Mongolian agricultural sector, which plays a crucial role and contribution to the diversification of Mongolian economy. Now, going back to the history from the side of the World Bank, 2 years ago, we have successfully implemented the project, and starting the month of June of this year, so we've initiated a new project in the livestock sector jointly with the Ministry of Agriculture and Light Industry. With respect of IFC, as a member of the World Bank Group, has been constantly working and partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture and Light Industry and with the National Development Agency in the field of developing a strategy of developing agricultural sector, attaching high priority to investment needs, especially given our analysis based on our researches. We could say that indeed the final product of the wool and cashmere sector is very beneficiary for both producers and for investors. Now, the final of meat production and the final dairy production also very mutually beneficial for all the stakeholders. Now, also the provision of the raw material for the meat industry, for dairy and industry, with respect of intensified livestock production, are the major priority areas for IFC to work together with the government of Mongolia. So these are the major issues in the agenda of the promoting and developing the agriculture sector in Mongolia. Now, generally, if we look at the external economic environment, which is quite challenging. So which showed almost 40% of decrease in terms of the foreign investment flow, especially that applies to the Asian economy and markets, which showed the decrease of foreign investment by 50 to 57%. So we expect that the economies would be the growth would revive minimum in 2 years. Now, it is important to distribute and allocate all the mining proceeds to other industries, to other sectors of economy. Now, so we've done some analysis and forecast in this respect, and we can say now that for Mongolian industries, the share of utilizing the international technology was constantly declining from 35% to 5%. Now, also, all these industries are very inward-looking. For example, in 2009, 82% of the companies were producing for a domestic market. So it also declined down in 2019. So that is why the bringing foreign investment into agricultural sector and the developing policy. So we need to take into account all these peculiarities while developing the agricultural sector. Now, what is next? At the global level, if the investors were aiming to invest into the global value chain, so due to the COVID pandemic, the major agricultural investors, they've shrunk their value-added chain. So therefore, now they would rather focus on the region, squeeze their investment down to the region. So therefore, we would encourage Mongolia to look to the regional cooperation as a primary matter. So as for IFC, we are interested in launching cooperation in the area of meat production, in the area of cashmere production, and starting tomorrow, using the platform, we will have a B2B meeting with a number of companies operating in the meat and cashmere sector. I wish every success to the proceedings of the forum, and so I would like to say that we'll be able to continue our detailed discussion on the potential projects. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Jigjitma, for providing very interesting information. And according to the agenda, we would like to invite to the next part of the forum to B2B individual meetings. And I would like to invite all the companies and investors to go to their respective rooms. So I wish every success to your talks and to the projects which will undoubtedly bring new technology and to management into Mongolia. Thank you very much for your
Export Mongolia 2020 International Virtual Forum and Expo. All those who are interested in working with and investing into Mongolia, International Virtual Forum and Expo.